In this third lesson on shell chords, we're going to focus now on pop music, rock music applications of shell chord voicings. You probably already are using some of these voicings, so it's going to be a little familiar, and we're going to help you see some really cool ideas here that you can begin to apply very quickly. So let's just get right to it. But wait, press that little button down there in the corner to subscribe to Outsmart Your Guitar, and ring the notification bell if you want to be told when new lessons are posted, which is about once a week. Outsmart Your Guitar is also on Patreon, so you can go over there, subscribe at one of two levels, and become a patron and help support my efforts to continue providing you with high-quality lessons to help you learn, play, and grow to be the guitar player you desire to be, to play the music you love. All right? Let's get on with the lesson. The first thing you want to do is record a progression into your looper, because we're going to play over the top of this progression. All right, so I've got an A chord, a D chord, a G, an E, and back to the A chord. It's a very basic progression, so we're just starting out easy, right? So you're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that's essentially how the whole thing works. All right, so I recorded it in my looper at 110 beats a minute. You don't have to record it that fast. How well you're able to play the shell chords that we're going to teach you in a minute will dictate how fast your tempo is, but no faster than 110 beats a minute. Okay, so pause the video, learn this progression, get it down, record it into your looper, and then we'll move to the next bit. Here we have the shell chords that you're going to use and play over the progression you just learned. The first chord is an A. Now, as we've stated before, it is technically not a shell chord because there's only two voicings. It's at the 7th fret, A, which is the 1, 5, and 1. So it's only two notes, so we're employing the exception clause here to include this. Then, staying at the 7th fret, you play the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings for a D chord. Now, this is a shell chord because you have a 1, 3, and 5, so it meets the qualifications. Then you go to the G, still also at the 7th fret. This meets the qualification of a shell chord because it has a 1, 3, 5, three separate notes. The E chord, because it's the same as the D chord, 1, 3, 5 at the 9th fret, it too qualifies as a shell chord back to the A. So what you want to do is get fluid at moving between them. Okay, so pause the video, learn these, learn to move between them. The nice thing is they're all played in one position, so I made this very easy. Get fluid as you move between them so that you can switch chords as you need. All right? Then, once you're fairly fluid with this, restart the video and we'll get to the good stuff. All right. You know the shell chords now. And here they are in the order they're played. So let's look at the notation, because this is going to tell you how long to hold these chords for, because they are sustained throughout this progression. Okay, so now we start with the A, and we're going to hold that for 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. We're going to mute 4 with our palm of our picking hand, come in on the and of 4 on the D, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Change to the G on the and of 4. Hold it for 1, 2, play E on 3, mute 4, come in on the A on the end of 4, and hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? So it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, I'm going to demonstrate at 110 beats a minute. Again, don't worry about tempo right now. We'll cover that in a minute. So here it is. 3, 4. 3, 4. And that's it. So pause the video and practice walking through this. Don't do it in time yet. Just kind of get a sense of it. Count it out loud as you're doing this. It doesn't have to be strictly in time, but get your timing right. Where do these notes occur, right? And work that out. Then bring it into time. And once you're fairly comfortable there, put it to a metronome at a tempo you're actually able to play it. This is the tempo you want to record your backing track at so that you can play it well. Remember, quality of execution is the goal here, not speed. No faster than 110 beats a minute though. All right? So work this out and then play it to your backing track looper thing and do it for a couple of minutes. Really listen to how this sounds, the dynamic and the interplay between the regular rhythm, which sounds kind of normal, and this that actually steps it up to have a little bit more interest in the sound. Okay? Then press play when you're ready to continue, and we'll keep going. Let's look at another progression. So you're going to be A minor, E, C, D minor, F, and G. We're playing all bar chords here for consistency of tone, chord to chord. Now, play the A minor, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and mute 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to the A. Pause the video, work this out, and get it clear. Put it to a metronome, get your timing right, and then when you're ready to move forward, we'll work on the shell chord part that will play over this. Let's look at the shell chords now. I've switched amps, so I've got a little more sustain, and that gives a little more edge to the shell chord part. All right, so the first chord is an A minor, and we're just going to play here at 9 with this finger, but the root's at 10. Now you got a 1, 5, and another 5. So yes, we're imposing the exception clause once again for the A. No flat 3, which is right, here at 10. So we're just going to be doing shell chords. Now we could do this, and that would be possible. That's an option. All right, so A minor. Now, the E7, we're going to borrow from a blues voicing. And we have the 1, the 3, and the flat 7. Really nice. Now, for the C chord, we're going to the full bar, but we're only going to use the top 3 notes. So you have the 1, 3, and the 5 for the C. Move up 2 frets to 10, and you're playing the D minor. We have the 1, flat 3, 5. And then we play at 10 also the G chord. And you have a 1, 3, 5. So pause the video, practice playing through these. You want to be able to move very fluidly between them and get them really working for you. All right. Then once you've got this down fairly well, press play and we'll get to the good stuff. All right, here is the shell chord part you're going to play over the top of the progression you just learned a few minutes ago. So let's look at the notation. You're playing on the first and third beat of every measure. And you got 2 notes occurring within that beat. So you're going to count to the 16th. So with the A, for example, you're going to go 1, E, and then mute 2. So you're going to play on 1, ghost E, and play on and then mute 2. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Get your right hand motion going in 16ths. 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and back to the beginning. And that's slowed down what you're going for. Now, let me play it over the backing track that I recorded at 90 beats a minute so you get a sense of what's going on at full tempo. Now, pause the video. Walk through this. Learn the count. Walking through each chord and what it's supposed to be doing. Then slowly bring it in time, counting out loud until you can play it reasonably in time. Now, find out what that actual tempo is that you're able to play it in time. Back it off a couple of beats a minute, even if you have to help you even further get it refined. Now, whatever tempo you can play this at, let's say 70 beats a minute, now you know what tempo to record the rhythm part you learned just a few minutes ago at, the tempo you need to record that at, so that you can play this part over the top of it. All right? That's it. There's the whole thing right there. So take your time, really dig into this. And once you got it down and you're able to play it with the backing track, sit on it and play it for a few minutes. Really dig into what's going on here and refine it and get it working, because this is some cool syncopation stuff. All right? Then, when you're ready to continue, press play. All right, there you go. You got a couple of examples of how you can take shell chords and apply them in pop and rock music. It's important to bring other genres into your ability, to be able to play different styles of music, because while you may want to play one style, if you bring stuff from a couple other styles over into what you're doing, you start to pull yourself away from the crowded, this is what everybody's doing bands that all kind of more or less sound alike, and you start to have a more unique sound. That's really the key here, right? A more unique sound. So, practice this stuff. Get good at it. Now, if you want an expanded version of this lesson, go on over to Patreon and subscribe at the Backstage Pass level, and you will have access to the expanded version of this lesson, which covers a little bit more stuff than you've gotten here. All right? And you will be supporting my efforts to continue to supply you with great lessons for you to grow and learn to become the guitar player you desire to be, right? Just like you heard at the beginning of the video. Okay, well, that'll do for this lesson and this series, actually. So when you're ready to keep going, I'll have more stuff. Absolutely. See you then.